So, I took a 36-hour train ride to LA. Definitely the longest public transportation trip I've ever taken, and I kind of regret it. Originally, this video was supposed to be about how you should travel as an artist, but I scrapped that script because I realized that traveling coach on a 36-hour train ride is not where it's at. I made a lot less art than I was hoping to make, and all the plein air I was hoping to do of the passing scenery out the window kind of just didn't happen. So instead of that, this video is going to be about why traveling is important. I'm someone who travels not as much as I would like to. Part of that is financial, but also part of that is just me being a little apprehensive to get out of my door and into the wider world. I'm walking to karate right now, and then tomorrow morning take the bus to King Station, and from there I take the Starlight down to LA. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I'm going on the bus to the train and Greta's leaving. The thing about traveling is it's incredibly important to artists. How else are we going to get our references, our inspiration? Sure, there's social media, internet, but I feel like in a lot of ways, those things supplement our experiences rather than forming our own experiences. But they also do keep me inside. They keep me from getting out. It's easier to sit inside and watch a YouTube video about traveling than it is to actually get on a 36-hour train ride and sit on coach for that entire time. So in a lot of ways, this video and this trip was, for me, an experience to kind of get out of my head, out of my bubble, and do something new. King Street, the station doesn't open until 8 a.m. and it's 5:40. So I'm looking around, it's dark and grimy and rainy, and I'm debating whether or not I should stay here or go to a coffee shop. I'm going to Zeitgeist Coffee to hang out till 8 a.m. I think it's time I give you a little bit more context about this trip. I am taking the train from Seattle to LA to go to Lightbox, the big art convention. It cost me $100. I could have very easily taken a flight for about the same price. It would have taken 3 hours, but I instead opted for the 36-hour experience of the Coach Coast Starlight. It's 8 a.m. King Street Station's open. What's up, bird? That's us right there. Coast Starlight, 9:50 a.m. Which sucks because it's like 8 a.m. At King Street Station. It's a beautiful station. Lots of marble work, as you can see above me. It might also just be wood painted white. It does look like marble though. The train is coming in 2 hours. And with that, the train ride begins. We all have our bubbles, our experiences that we rely on to build our worldview. What's interesting is our bubbles are almost always small. The amount we know about the world will never be a complete understanding of the world. Traveling expands that worldview by adding new experiences, new references, but it's not easy. Getting out of the door can be hard, but oftentimes what's harder is coming to terms with the fact that what you expect will rarely ever be reality. If we're lucky, reality will surpass our expectations, as Lightbox did my first year, But with this train ride, my expectations unfortunately surpassed reality. In my head, I envisioned creating art the entire time as the train ride served as a well of inspiration. Very quickly, though, I was taken by the discomfort of my sitting situation. My seat was directly next to the door between cars, a door that would slam open whenever someone needed to go to the bathroom in the next car over. This resulted in me getting virtually no sleep, and consequently had kind of mental negativity throughout the entire train ride. Additionally, I found that it was incredibly lonely. Most everyone else was traveling with another person. Traveling by myself, being uncomfortable and sleep deprived, I found that it was difficult to talk to these strangers I'd spend the next 36 hours with. I had brought the game We're Not Really Strangers to play with a stranger, but I ended up never having the energy or time to play it on my entire trip. At this point, it was becoming night, and the night was the most difficult part of the trip because of my seating situation, of course, but also because you couldn't really look out the window anymore. It's moments like this that life really gets put into perspective. New emotions and situations are presented that we've never experienced before. Sure, I've been alone, but alone on a train surrounded by people, still feeling lonely? No sleep or energy to fuel creativity? I felt reminiscent of Studio Ghibli's Spirited Away, but instead of spirits, there were strangers, and the entire setting was the train, rather than just the end. To couple these emotions, we passed through tons of beautiful scenery, but also almost every town had some form of poverty along the rail line. That's something I'd never even realized, and it brought immense sadness to couple loneliness. There were moments like this where I was eating ramen, reading books on my iPad, where I did feel quite happy in the moment, even though I was running off of probably 4 hours of sleep. If this trip made me realize anything, it's that not everything has to be 100% good. If there was no bad or sad, there would be no good or happy. It's the contrast that allows us to understand both the sides of the equation. Even here, where I just am shaking my hand in frustration to get off the train. I think what I don't want to lose, though, is my excitement for things like this. Sure, I can be disappointed, I can not really enjoy the train ride, but I think fostering excitement, even about bad experiences, is good. Focusing on the positive. I got to go on a 36-hour train ride cross country and see all these vistas and go independently.
Please stand clear. The doors are closing.
I've never done that before, and now I can say I have. I had to hop on another train on my way to Pasadena, where Lightbox is, and it dropped me off right in between these two mega highways,
Where the train dropped me off.
which I thought was very LA fitting.
I have no idea where I am.
From there, I made my way to the Airbnb and got ready for Lightbox.
Day 2 of Lightbox. Day 1 I recorded almost nothing because I was kind of exhausted from the train ride, but I got like 12 hours of sleep, and now we're all walking, and these are the shoes of all the people. We got like how many people are in this house? 9? 10? 9. And yeah, we're walking to Lightbox.
Oh, you didn't. You can move there.
Wow.
What was that?
I'm at Lightbox
Don't know why they
with
say, like,
friends.
It was good.
And we're going to walk in line right now to wait for probably an hour, but is what it is.
Oh, no.
Lightbox. Me and Josh are hanging out together, and we're utterly exhausted, as you can probably tell by the giant eye bags under my face. We've been drawing people in the corner. I'll flip around the camera so you can see.
Spotlit just the back half arbitrarily, and left the front half of the car and the rest of the scene in shadow.
I shared before, she would be like, it's cool. Every time I read. You know this song?
Oh, yeah, wait.
This is the end of Lightbox, 3 days.
Uh,
And these are my friends. And we found this strange chicken with
Tied to a tree.
with
Is that
business cards inside. I recorded a lot less than I wanted to, but you know, there's a sunset behind the
I
chicken,
don't have TikTok. I don't know.
as you can see.
A few closing notes. If you're an artist, please travel, even if it's just locally in your town. Get out of your comfort zone. Go to places and experience things that you haven't. Learn from others, and don't be afraid for your expectations to not be met. Oftentimes, the greatest learning experiences come from the experiences that don't measure up to our expectations. And don't lose your optimism and excitement for the world. Sure, it might not be what you expect, but the act of experiencing it all is worth the enthusiasm. We're on a floating rock in space, and we get to see color, hear music, taste new foods. That's wild. So, I know this video is a little bit long and a vlog and also philosophical, but I hope you gain something from it. And I hope you have a great day.